Hey everyone, Tin Man here, back with some more Dota Underlords, playing ranked mode. Currently ranked Big Boss 1, trying to climb back up to Lord after the big update reset all the ranks. So I think I'm going to pick up Tiny here on turn 1. Tiny is just probably my favorite unit of the game right now. He's just so good in Warriors, got a great stun, and just very, very high impact at all stages of the game. Let's take a look around the lobby. We got one person who's already up in Lord, but then a bunch of people in Boss and a couple in Big Boss. So a good wide spread here in this lobby. A couple people haven't purchased anything. They got Shadow Demon, Venomancer, pretty good spread on everything. After we grab this item, we'll look at the jail today, but the jail today really affects a lot of compositions pretty hard. We'll pick up Embarrassment Riches. Just get good choices later on. So the jail today has got Keeper of the Light out, who's one of the most important parts in a mage composition, so we really want to avoid mages. Other than that, even Bristleback and Troll Warlord hurts like kind of the sustained damage of a lot of warrior compositions. As well as Nyx Assassin hurts the possibility of assassins. Although you can still run assassins without it, you just can't run insect assassins quite as well, which is one of the more popular pairings with it. I think we'll pick up the Ogre Magi here in addition to the second Tiny. He's got huge amount of stats and is just very good in the early game, especially if you get him up to 2-star. And one more quick look at the jail. We see Luna and Necrophos both out, and that hurts any kind of a Knight's healer composition that I've been trying to make work. They just don't seem to work that well, and it always seems like at least one key piece of it's banned out every day. As well as Clockwork, it seems like, once again, every day there's a scrappy inventor banned. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of any of these. I think I'll just pick up the Vitality Booster. Just big chunk of health. It did get buffed, you know, obviously with more health recently. There's a 2-star Tiny. We already have the Ogre Magi, so we can pick up another Bloodbound. I don't think Bloodbound is like the best strategy in the world, but it certainly is effective in the early game, especially if you get them up to 2 stars. And it's often pretty uncontested. Some people have picked up some Ogre Magi's, but I guess one of those is us. Oh, Mr. Warlock. No, just us on those. Okay. One thing that was not banned out at all today is any brutes. If I didn't have a Tiny, like a great first pick Tiny, I would have considered trying to grab Axe, because I think brutes are an interesting strategy that rarely get to have all 4 or all 5 of them in the pool. Axe is probably the least among them, but of the other ones, it's a pretty good strategy, I think. Pick up the Chainmail. Despite its nerf down to 7 armor, it's still one of the best defensive options in the game, especially when you have high health totals, like a 2-star unit with Tiny or Ogre Magi, or somebody who just has high health total. It's generally among the best choices. There's a Bloodseeker. Oh, hello. That's a Bloodbound. That is definitely a Bloodbound. Okay, so how does a Bloodbound comp work? Does it work? I haven't really seen it ever be successful, especially if you don't get a big time contract, but I think in this early game it can provide some pretty good power. I mean, we already have, you know, all three Bloodbounds. The big problem with Bloodseeker is that he dies way too fast, because he still takes % of his max HP damage, but everybody has double their HP, so essentially he's taking twice as much damage as he used to take. And you see, he can't even come close to killing anybody before he dies to his own damage. Yeah, like half of the damage that Bloodseeker took was just from himself. That doesn't make sense. He only took 1883, but he has 2,000 health. I'm not entirely sure how that math all worked out there, but in any case, he's not very good. Despite having 2 stars, we still got just completely shredded. Not even close. That being said, I think there's potential if we play this a little bit differently. If perhaps we like set the Bloodseeker forward a little bit, hoping to have him die quicker, and then let the Ogre Magi come in with the buff afterwards. Maybe that'll go a little bit better. Our opponent has all 1 stars, so we should be okay. I hope. No promises. We do have to use this free reroll here. Bristleback's out, but there are other Savages that are still pretty good. I'll pick up the Venomancer, but probably going to avoid the Knights, Mages, and Assassins here. And then use our free reroll. Hunters are also pretty good. None of the Hunters are banned out today. Instead of Shadow Demon, we probably want to pick up... Or instead of Shadow Shaman, we want the Shadow Demon. Yeah, I think this is good. We keep our options open between this Bloodbound, these Hunters, and a couple other options. So we can throw in a Warlock, Mr. Warlock here, who, you know, can obviously go pretty well with these other Bloodbounds. The more of them die, the stronger the last remaining ones get. And we see a Wind Ranger here for even more Hunter action. I don't really think we want to grab Brutes. Can I sell up to 10 gold? Sell these 3. And then if I win, I get 10 gold. You know what? I'll do that. And just kind of bet that I'm going to win the round by like the X9ing strategy. Although my opponent has level 5. So I'm not terribly optimistic. But we'll see. Alright, Bloodseeker did get a kill. If he gets 1 or 2 kills, he can definitely snowball. This can work. And he got the bonus from the Blood Ogre Magi dying, so I think he goes crazy here. Okay, we do get it. Yeah, Bloodseeker. Let me get back to the damage tab there. Yeah, look at that Bloodseeker damage. 6k. Okay, so when he works pretty darn well. When he doesn't work, he flops on his face. There's another Mr. Warlock. I know I did sell off the Bloodseeker because I don't think he's long-term solution, even if we get him to 3-star. So I think we're gonna stay with some kind of maybe Hunter strat because I've got a lot of Hunters here. Pudge pairs well with Heartless. Sell off the Queen of Pain since I don't think we want to go Assassins. We even see another player definitely going Assassins. So we probably want to avoid that if possible. Get back up above 10 gold, and just pick up everybody. No reason not to. But see, now Bloodseeker just fails and just dies right off the bat and doesn't deal anything. So he's a very inconsistent unit in that regard. And we're gonna get crushed here. Their front line is way too tanky. We just can't get any kills on them. We didn't kill a single thing. Wow. The highs and lows of a Bloodseeker build, from 8k damage down to 700. Even though we have mostly 2 stars on our board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't realistically get up to 20 gold this turn. So I think what I'm going to do is just level up right now and throw in maybe like Magnus? I don't know if he'd be best. And then sell off these guys, get back up to 10. Just to try to keep winning. I know we did lose that round, so we're not on a win streak, but everybody else in the game is level 5. Except for I guess the 2 different people, but most opponents are level 5 rather. And I think if I stay too low level for too long, it definitely starts to hurt you. Take too much and you have no chance of winning. Even if we do keep on losing, I'd rather be a higher level just to get the better chance of winning. Or we just lose by a little bit less, which is always good to take a little bit less damage early on. Oh no, we're not going to kill anybody again. Because we tiny tossed their Pudge into the corner right as he was about to die. So that didn't work at all. I got to use our free reroll here. We do find some more Hunters and some Druids. Some Savages, so we get an interesting mix here. I think we want to move away from Magnus because we have like a lot of other Warriors, Savages, Hunters kind of deal. And I think we want to move away from Ogre Magi. Perhaps just put in Heartless here. I think I even sell off the Tusk to get back up to 10. I don't want to be not grabbing interest, even though typically you want to get up to 20 gold by this turn. Since we don't have a streak win or loss, it's really hard to get up to 20 gold here. Keeping open the possibility of going like Insect Hunters. I know we're missing Nyx Assassin, but he was probably one of the ones you wanted to replace anyway by the end of most games if you're playing Insect Hunters. So we can run like Weaver, Sand King, Broodmother, if that's what we determine is correct. So I'm keeping on with this Weaver. Or we just end up, you know, that could be like a 6 Hunter build plus the 3 insects, which I think is a very, very powerful build. Oh, I forgot to put this Vitality booster out on somebody. Oh, luckily we still won. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that should go out on, like, Pudge or somebody. We do have to use this free reroll. Let's grab a Tiny, I guess. Ooh, there's a Beastmaster. Okay, so Hunter's is definitely on the menu. I think with that in mind, I'd like to pick up... I'm always just a big fan of this Chaotic Hunter, although I know some people trend towards... You know, I'm just going to sell this off. Sell off that Wind Ranger. I need to get up to 20 this turn. I know some people trend towards this Brill Bruiser nowadays. I'm not convinced it's actually that good. It can be good against Assassins, but against any other build, I just feel like they're not going to be in melee range always for you. Because it basically confines your Demon Companion to melee range. So like in this case, the Demon would just stop dealing anything. We would just stand in the back and do nothing. If we had the Brill Bruiser. That's why I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, so I sold off the Wind Ranger because I think she's the least valuable hunter. And she's like easily replaceable. And she's maybe not the least valuable, but she's easily replaceable by other hunters. Whereas like the Insect Hunter is not that replaceable, and Lycan is just a better unit. Ooh, Helm of the Undying is pretty good on this Bloodseeker for right now. And it'll also be, you know, just a decent item later on if we get like a Terrorblade to let him transform and definitely deal his damage later in the fights. We'll pick up another Ogre Magi, but we've already sold off. I think we're going to move away from Bloodbound eventually. It's just a good early game strategy. And especially if we can find a Sniper, we can get Deadeye for a little while and bridge the gap between Bloodbound and Hunter. In the meantime, actually this Warrior might just be better. Just have a much tankier frontline, and then just, we don't worry about giving the Bloodbound over to Bloodseeker. He's just gonna, you know, when he dies, he's just gonna Helm of the Undying and hopefully get a couple more hits off. He did deal some damage while he's Undying, but not a whole lot. It's not very effective. Doesn't hurt to buy all of these units up, even if I don't really plan on using them. Oh, I want to put Beastmaster in. I forgot I have a 2-star Beastmaster. Oh man, sorry, I'm a little sloppy this morning. Yeah, Beastmaster should be in over, maybe over the Bloodseeker. Maybe it's just time to cut bait with that. Or maybe over the Tusk. I do lose the Warrior bonus that way. Or actually, I can probably just level up next turn, right? I probably should have leveled up on round 11, but our gold total wasn't quite in the spot to support that. Yeah, so I can do it here. Put our Warriors back in, keep our Beastmaster. I'm going to give him the Vitality booster, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, let's just sell all these off. And actually, let's even sell off an extra Tiny, because I probably am not going to play Tiny long term. I think this, if you want to go with like insect hunters, you just want to get 3 insects plus the hunters. You don't necessarily need warriors in that. You might run Pudge just because you want the Heartless. And I just kind of want to do this because I need to make sure I get up to 30 gold for interest here. And especially because we're not going to win this, it seems. Nope. Beastmaster's almost dealing enough damage. You need to get another set of axes off there. Wow, getting crushed here. I guess another Tusk here. Probably not going to run Bounty Hunters. Not going to run Assassins anytime. So this early game is not going well. We don't have a loss streak even. Ugh. Bloodseeker's really not pulling his weight. Beastmaster is. Beastmaster deals so much with those axes. Nothing here. I'm just going to use the free reroll right away. We do find a Bounty Hunter. I mean, that's better than Bloodseeker, but that's not saying much. Yeah, let's just get rid of the Bloodseeker. I think you really, to make Bloodseeker work, you almost certainly need to get the Deadeye bonus. We haven't found a sniper yet. There's one other person on Hunters, but that's about it. So I think we should still be fine. They're running a Legion Commander, of all things. Interesting. Typically that's not a unit you always see. It's probably one of the worst units. It did get buffed recently, but like you see there, based on that position with Legion Commander, it just the duel went off too early and could never actually win a duel because the unit was still at too high of life total. So you really want Legion Commander to not ult just right off the bat. You want to wait until people are low health totals to win a duel. She does have the Savage bonus, which is letting her stack up attack damage, which I guess works in long fights here. But that even still, it hasn't really won any duels. Yeah, it doesn't have any flat bonus damage there. Alright, so there's a 2-star Drow Ranger. Sweet. I don't know, maybe we do play Tiny long term. If we can get it upgraded here. Let's buy this Tiny, use our reroll. Hoping to find a Tusk 2-star. Don't find it. But we're still above 50 life, and even though we're on a losing streak, I'm not as concerned as I think I should be. Based on the life total situation, because I think we're actually have a reasonable composition. I just feel like 2-star Beastmaster is just such an important part of this right now that I'm happy that we have him because he deals so much damage. The big problem right now is that our Nessex is getting punch hooked in. That is a big problem for us right now. So I need to figure out a way around that. I think that involves like a different Drow Ranger positioning, I think. To let Drow Ranger get punch hooked in, but she is dealing so much damage. Like, I don't want Drow Ranger to get killed right off the bat either. I guess an Essex is probably more important. Constant healing and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, so we still lose, but I'm just losing by 2 or 4 damage. Like, that's fine. I keep a losing streak. I get the free reroll. I'm like honestly okay with that to some extent.
It's time to show them something new.
So I think because we're losing, I want to pick up Despite All My Rage because like we're gonna be like being pushed back in a lot of these fights, and so an Essex or companion's gonna die once or twice, and I'd rather just get that extra bonus for that dying. I don't really think I want Tusk long term. I think I'm gonna sell him off to get up the gold. Even if I want to play Warriors, I would probably want Tiny, Pudge, and then like either Kunkka or Tidehunter to get some CC in there. Or I might even move away from Warriors entirely and go for Insects. But I haven't really found too many more Insects. Typically you'd want a Weaver 2-star by now. And even then, Weaver 2-star is not even all that great. You kind of want him up to 3-star. But Tiny would definitely be one, but Tusk not so much. Pick up the Wind Ranger, use our free reroll. We do get a Lycan, and of course we get the Tusk. But I also think I want to level up to 7 here to put the Lycan in. Just so we get the Warrior bonus, or the Hunter bonus. And, ooh, Blade Mill or Smuggler here. Blade Mill's pretty good on Pudge, but like, I think we just need really good items for this Hunter comp, so I want to pick up the Smuggler, because then on round 20 we'll start to get the chance of get tier 4 items right off the bat, and that'll be really powerful for us. Do I do the same logic again with the Tusk? Just sell off my excess Tusk on the bench, or do I ditch Tiny's? Tiny's not extremely heavily contested. I just want to get up to 40. Actually, I'm just going to sell off the Wind Ranger. I think she's the least likely one to be played. I want to get like Sniper, Terrorblade, Mirana, Medusa, or Weaver. You know, like some combination of those, and I think Wind Ranger is just a pretty easy one to replace in some sense. This one's not going well. Yeah, they've got despite all their rage, Demon Archers died twice. Ours has not died at all. Yikes. Alright, they're taking more damage than I'd like to take at this point. I was hoping we'd turn this around by the time we leveled up to 7 here. Maybe an S6 needs to even be further up. Like this, so that she actually gets Demon Archer forward. There's the Weaver. Alright, let's put in Weaver over this Bounty Hunter. And let's just use the free reroll right away. So I think if I do this, an SX will summon her thing straight forward. I hope. And then hopefully that dies quicker to trigger despite all my rage. And I'm just going to hope we win this to get the higher gold total. I guess maybe I will hold on to Tusk because I do need the upgrades. Uh-oh. Oh, sweet. They did summon straight forward. Perfect. I'm like, I don't think she's going to have a spot to summon it. Maybe that was a consideration I should have thought about. She wouldn't have a spot to summon if there's nothing there. But now it just died right off the bat, and that's perfect, because now it comes back twice as strong. But there's always a risk if they perfectly lined up that she wouldn't get a chance. Maybe I should set this back a step or two. Like, set this whole, like, 4-unit combo right here. A Nesix plus whoever's adjacent, and plus Weaver and Drow Ranger back a step, so that she'll still summon it forward, but they don't have a chance to put somebody there. Still gonna lose. Wow. But only just. Well, I think we got a good idea here then for this. That worked well, and that's still tons of damage, but if we just set this back a step like this, I think that works pretty well. Okay, so here's a Mirana. I'm like really weak. And low on health total. I think I'm going to use the free reroll. Pudge. I think I got to keep rerolling here a little bit. Try to find a 2-star Pudge or 2-star Tusk or something. Okay, there's a Kunkka instead. It's probably better. Oh, there's a Sand King as well. Oh. Sand King would retain the Savage bonus, which is a reasonable bonus. We would be trying to move away from warriors at that point. Oh, and a sniper. I like it. You know what? I think we're going to move away from warriors. I think I want to try insects. I think that's a better bet, assuming I can get them. If I can get a broodmother. Insects are just so good in the long-term fights. The long, drawn-out fights, they rack up the damage. And we already have the Weavers and the Sand King. Still probably I'm going to play Pudge, just because we want Heartless. And we still lose here. Man, I just cannot buy a win here. I actually think... Am I supposed to level up right now? I think I maybe am supposed to, just to stop the bleeding. Typically I hate leveling up on this round, but like, I can't afford not to. I can't afford to take another big hit. So putting leveling up, get the Sand King in there. That should definitely help matters a little bit. Gets more CC right off the bat. I still don't have the insect bonus just yet. We can buy the Beastmaster and Weaver on the hope we can get those to 3-star, but maybe unlikely. And then maybe eventually we move away from these other hunters if we find more insects and more hunters. If I want the Beastmaster, what would be my 6th hunt? I have 6 hunters right now, so I don't need Wind Ranger, Terrorblade, or Medusa, but if I find Medusa, I would easily replace something with a Medusa, because she's just so good. Alright, this one's going to be huge. Will it be big enough? Because we're 1 shot away. Oh, no, never mind. That Queen of Pain jumping in the back, just 1-shot her. Alright, so I gotta buy this Weaver post-combat here. Use our free reroll, and buy a sniper. Alright, so we're still, 8-round loss streak, but I actually... I don't know. I'm not gonna say I feel good about this situation, but... I'm somehow 8-round loss streak, and I'm still, like, around 30 life. Okay, I just barely dropped below it, which is, like, honestly not that bad. We've been losing rounds narrowly.
I have a surprise for them.
I probably want to pick up Summon Demonic Golem just to get that extra tankiness. because I feel like that's what's going to be lacking for us. Let's use the free reroll, see if we can combine something. We don't see it. So I think I'm just going to ditch the idea of a 3-star Drow and a 3-star Weaver, and just focus on 3-star Lycan Beastmaster and then a 2-star Sniper. Probably don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to level to 9 anytime soon. What I might just end up doing is cutting like Sand King plus Kunkka to get 2 more hunters in here. I know we lose the warrior buff and savage buff there, but I think the hunter buff would be better. 6 hunters. Put in sniper and Mirana, because I'm not gonna have enough to level up. Ideally, this comp like really peaks at level 9 when you get 6 hunters. Actually, you can do 6 hunters plus 3 insects at level 8 here. Actually, I just replace Kunkka. Well, I would need 6, and I would also need a heartless, so I would need at least 1 warrior at level 9. Tombstone is probably the best tanky option here. I just need my frontline to survive a little bit longer, let my hunters get time to do their thing, you know? Ooh. Okay. 2-star Sniper, that's probably better than the Weaver, if I have to be honest here. I'm going to do it like this so that if anything they hook the Drow Ranger. Actually, maybe I do just put in the 6 hunters. And then I think we want to move away from warriors to get insects, assuming I can find a broodmother at some point. Buy that after interest locks in, and we still have this positioning so that if anything they'll hook a Mirana with a Pudge Hook, which is fine because she can just leap out of it, assuming she's about ready to cast. And then and Essex still summons her thing straightforward. This Tombstone has provided a lot of tankiness up front. How much damage is it taking? It's taking over 4,000 damage. Like, that's a really effective tank for us. And then just let our backline damage dealers just pump out the damage because we got 6 hunters up by now. Okay, so that's a good win. We got 11 to them, so we're no longer in last place. We're actually in 6th place. We are on a massive losing streak. Because we've been losing so narrowly, we're still like being competitive in these fights. We're like actually kind of reasonable. Actually in a fairly reasonable spot here. I still like the idea of Tiny until we get insects. I think Tiny CC is just pretty valuable. I think I'll just sit here then. We'll just... actually, I should probably swap these items. I should probably put the health total on Tiny, because he already gets the bonus armor from Warriors, and I should put the bonus armor on Lycan, because he's going to get the bonus health from Shapeshift. I think that just logically makes more sense for a combination. Alright. I think this, despite all my rage, has been really effective where we're at. This in Essex just hits, like, look how hard this thing's hitting. She's going to constantly raise more of them until she dies. Okay, now she dies. That's not good. But it was hitting really hard when it was, summoned. Oh my god, it took 16 there. Okay, that didn't work. Well, I thought that was going well. The Essex mini was just summoned and then just died instantly. But it was going to have like 1,000 attack damage if it survived. Now I'm really just one shot away from dying, so I think I need to level up to 9 here, and I do get the Broodmother. Sweet. Okay, let's just swap in the insects here. Ditch the Tiny. Put this on a Sand King. Actually, what I could do is something like this. And then use our free reroll. Buy these guys, although I don't think I want them. Actually, no, I'm just going to reroll again, trying to find a Pudge 2-star. Pudge 2-star is one that we're very close to. This one's way too close for comfort here. But now we got the insects online. We'll see if that changes our fate. I think it's a really big upgrade. You can see this insect is like the second highest damage dealer beside Beastmaster, who's whose AoE is obviously just insane. And it makes them miss their attacks. We just absolutely crush. I mean, this is another weaker opponent, so I'm not gonna like take this as a huge win because they were already pretty weak. But we didn't lose, and that's the important part. All right, we're about to hit round 24. So we need to survive one more time to get to the creep round. And really the upgrades we're looking for are just 2-star Sand King Broodmother, 2-star Pudge, Marana. Okay, so I guess we're going to have to ditch the idea of Beastmaster 3-star. I think we're farthest away from him as being an upgrade, and since we just found the Marana all at once, I think that's just advisable. So that's the game plan here. I might actually... Yeah, you might still actually just swap this. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go with Beastmaster. If we can get a Lycan 3-star, as well as upgrade on Brood and Sand King, that is going to be plenty enough. I mean, obviously you do want Beastmaster 3-star eventually, but I don't think our life total or gold total is really conducive to that in any way. So I'm not going to put too much stock in that. Chrono Cube. Well, good thing they were pretty well spread out. That Chrono Cube didn't really kill us that hard. That being said, the rest of their build's kind of killing us that hard. Oh, jeez. Lycan? You got this. You don't got this, Lycan. Okay, well, I'm at 3 life. That's plenty. That's plenty of life total. 3. Alright, well... Maybe my optimism was misplaced here. 6 assassins. Well, assassins generally just have a tendency to kind of hard counter. Have a tendency to hard counter hunters in a way because you don't have too many defensive options in the back. So I can kind of understand where that comes from. There's a Sand King and a Broodmother. I don't want to have to lock for this because I want to get the reroll to try to actually complete them. So maybe I end up selling off Pudge and Beastmaster. Yeah. It's not great, but I think the idea of a 2-star Pudge is going to be less valuable than the possibility of a 3-star Lycan. Because if we get a 3-star Lycan, that can just carry our game. That can really just win us the game. But a 2-star Pudge is just like a moderate upgrade as opposed to a 1-star here. And I'd rather just get the best odds of finding 2-star Sand King and Broodmother, who would be even better. Need to make sure there's a spot for this Pudge to walk forward. Actually, does this make more sense then? I'm just trying to find a way to get our tanks engaged in combat first, and then Nesix spawn her minions straight forward. That's the ideal situation. I actually like this idea. So the minion doesn't go up here and then just immediately walk backwards to try to get next to the Drow Ranger. I like this positioning a bit better. Big problem is we don't have any good items. Despite having Embarrassment Riches and Smuggler, we've just not found any good damage items. I guess Battle Fury is like the best thing for Lycan, but even then it's pretty lackluster. There's a Beastmaster, which I'm not thrilled about. There's a Sand King. Okay, I guess I have to sell off the Lycan. Need the Sand King right now. It just has to happen. I guess I'll give this over to Sand King then. Give Vitality Booster over to Broodmother to let her tank a little bit longer. But yeah, this is... it's not great. Another Hunter comp, but they get a Blink Dagger, but otherwise this is working out for us. This fight has kind of gone how we drew it up. We killed their Blink Dagger target right away. Our sniper's still up. We got our CC off. Sniper's still going strong. Alright, we're good. Mirana's the one that got hooked and then immediately jumped. And we did good. Okay, that went exactly according to plan. Sand King with a big CC there. Good damage output as well. And 2 people got eliminated. Okay, we're not even going to be last. You know, despite having a 6-13 record, we were beating out people who had 8 and 9 wins. With any luck, we can move up into top 4, maybe. All right, just looking for Broodmother here or double Pudges randomly. Nothing there. Okay. So we're still far from secure. I'm really just aiming for a top 4 spot here. I'm actually going to move a little bit further back like this to better protect against some of the assassin builds that were out there. Actually, I'm even going to do this. Oops. So that Beastmaster maybe gets an assassin to jump on him. Hopefully like that Faceless Void, if anything. But otherwise, it gets into combat relatively easily and on the side. But you know, this actually was a bad spot for him to get into combat because he is right. All of their guys who were looping around all got onto him. But it looks like he's going to get a couple axes off. That's the main point. As long as he gets multiple casts of axes off. Now he's dead. That's fine. I think we win this one. Pretty convincingly, actually. Mirana's still up. Can get lots of stuns. They're an Essex. Okay, finally died. And our Essex has plus 202 attack damage, thanks to Despite All My Rage. And a good chunk out of them. Perfect. 13. These are close fights, and I am not like super confident that we win all these, but they are coming down to the wire. No one else got eliminated though. Come on, give me a Broodmother. Or Pudge. So many Dooms. Doom is a really good unit, but just not for what we're trying to do. This is a pretty tight synergy build. It's a real shame we haven't been able to find the Beastmaster Lycans. Our life total is just too low. It's possible I should have been more aggressive on rerolling earlier to try to not get myself into this situation, whereas this low on life. That being said, we kind of pulled it together at the end here. Oh, here's the Assassins. Okay, so this is the formation we want. So hopefully Faceless Void puts his Chrono Cube over on Beastmaster. Good. It's exactly where we want it. Doesn't hit anybody. Sniper still dies, unfortunately. So not great. But the rest of our board's holding up. Oh, that's a 3-star Slark with Mask of Madness. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, we got him. Okay, we do. Alright. I should just like stop trying to commentate and predict the outcome of these fights, because anytime I'm like looking at, oh, that's a 3-star Slark with Mask of Madness, I must be dead. Turns out I win. So, but the key part there was the Beastmaster baiting the Chrono Cube into the corner. That was like super, super important. Okay, so we get some more copies of these guys and another Beastmaster. Alright, there's a Broodmother, never mind. Okay, we found pretty much every upgrade we can realistically get. We did have to ditch the ideas of upgrades on 3-star Beastmaster or Lycan, but that's, you know, that's just what you gotta do to make sure you get the upgrades when you get them. I just want to scout to make sure this person, as long as they're keeping their Faceless Void in this corner, then I'm good to keep my Beastmaster over here. Otherwise, if they swap, we may have to flip our formation as well, just to make sure that our Beastmaster or somebody is in the opposite corner to bait the Chrono Cube away from our whole team. If that hits our whole team, we're in big trouble.
I don't need all my power to kill you.
Uh-oh, their Arc Wardens in the back line are still going good. Going strong there. I'm not liking the looks of this one. Their Chain Frost on Lich was so powerful. Oh no! Ah, 5th place. Man, we put up a good fight there. I think I definitely misplayed sometimes. I think we should have been a bit more aggressive rerolling early, or at least leveling up early.
If you stick with this, you're going to win eventually.
I think the comp was a good one to go for. We did eventually like kind of get it together, but if we'd just been a bit more aggressive in rerolling early, maybe we don't get myself into that low of a life total situation. And maybe we can go for a 3-star Beastmaster and Lycan. The fact we didn't get 3-star on either of them, despite, you know, seeing enough units over the course of the game to get there, really hurt us. Never finding 2-star Pudge was a minor annoyance, but not a huge. I can complain a little bit about our item choices, even though we got Embarrassment Riches and Smuggler. Having to pick, the Tombstone was pretty good, but not getting any like Mask of Madness, Moonshard, Daedalus, not even like a Sacred Relic or a Skull Basher, which are really good on hunters who have high attack speed, was definitely a little bit, or Maelstrom. None of those like really good damage items. We had to pick a Battle Fury, which is just not ideal for Lycan. I mean, it's fine, but could be better. So, items weren't the greatest. I think our positioning was pretty on point, though. I think our positioning was, by the end of the game, was ideal. The way we kind of boxed in and forced the Despite All My Rage unit to go forward and just constantly die. Although I'm kind of interested with so many people picking up Brill Bruiser nowadays. Maybe that's something I need to try out a bit more. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you learned a little bit something from it. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.